Welcome into Spectrum Sports 360. I'm Pat Welter. Well, the schedule makers did not wish Orlando a happy holiday season. Since November 23rd, they've played 6 of 8 games on the road. They were home for what felt like about an hour before a stop in Dallas tonight. Evan Fournier not making the trip due to a private family matter. The team hoping to have him back for, get this, Mexico City. Yeah, that's coming up next. Magic inserting a little defense into the starting lineup without him. Jonathan Isaac, he's getting the starts. Mavs dangerous with rookie Luka Doncic at the helm. Here we go, first quarter. Hallelujah. Doncic between Vooch's legs to Jalen Brunson. My producer tells me that's called, what, a nutmeg? Doncic, strong rookie of the year contender. Nutmeg, that's like a holiday spice, I guess. Second quarter, offense hard to come by for Orlando. Fast breaks welcome. It's Jonathan Simmons throwing it down. Magic down 12 at the half. And check out the halftime show. Yeah, they do things big in Dallas, even the halftime shows. Landing a 10 there. Third quarter, Mavs offense rolling. Harrison Barnes for 3. Magic down 16, so they draw one up for Jonathan Isaac. The ball going one way, the defense another. Apparently that worked well, but this Doncic kid, man, Mavs sold the farm for him for a reason. Sets up DeAndre Jordan here, just not Orlando's Knights. Let's get a score update for you. Magic down 97-73 in the fourth. So I remember we talked about that road trip. Well, it's coming fast and furious here. Doesn't get any easier. To Mexico City for the Bulls and Jazz on the 13th and 15th. Then a brief stop home for the Spurs. And back out to Chicago on the 21st. Good news, though, they will be home around Christmas. Orlando starts a 4-game homestand the 23rd. So this weekend in the NFL was, how do I put this, crazy? Now, I know we say that a lot, but this time I really mean it. I mean, 7 underdogs win outright. The Patriots actually make a coaching mistake and lose on a trick play. This stuff is worth a second watch. The Chiefs, almost one of those favorites, losing outright. Andy Reid bailed out by his prodigy of a QB, Patrick Mahomes, against his body to Tyreek Hill on 4th and 9. I think Tyreek Hill was a little injured there, too. That set up the game-tying touchdown. Chiefs survive in OT. Steelers falling fast in the AFC. Juju Smith-Schuster did his best to save them. What's a catch? That is a catch. Refs reviewed it. Glad they got it right. Juju defying physics. Unfortunately, his kicker could not. Yeah, Pittsburgh overcame a Big Ben rib injury, but they couldn't overcome the Oakland turf. Chris Boswell slipping on a potential game-tying field goal. Steelers have lost 3 straight. Kicking is hard. Being a cameraman is too. Check out this guy from the Miami Dolphins game. Yeah, careful, those Steadicam setups are heavy and expensive. Hopefully you got it fixed in time for the play of the year. Yeah, I believe you've seen this. The Miami Miracle, as it's being called. Dolphins down 5 to the best situationally coached team in the history of sports. Patriots. Situation this. Kenyon Drake takes the lateral pass to falling down Rob Gronkowski.
Oh, Kenyon Drake! A miracle!
Brian Tannehill tries to put the impossible into words.
Then I saw him and Gronk about 10 yards away. I was like, Gronk's on the field. We got this, you know. Yeah, so it was pretty amazing. You know, just I was falling behind, and I kind of just turned around and collapsed, just with the emotion of the whole thing.
Unimaginable what has taken place here in South Florida.
Well said. So the Dolphins win on the final play of the game, and they just might miracle their way into the postseason here. If the season ended today, Baltimore, they'd be the last team in, but Miami in the hunt at 7-6 with a very winnable remaining schedule. They're at Minnesota, then home for Jacksonville before finishing in Buffalo. Look, it's a long shot, but so was that last play. So can they actually make it? Chris Crawford and Eric Kohler debates in tonight's Face Off. Oh, Florida's Ja'Kai Polite keeps adding to his accolades. From Mainland High School to the AP All-American team, Polite is tonight's homegrown. Yeah, the Gators defensive end named to the AP All-American second team, the only Gator to make the list. Polite second in the SEC with 11 sacks. Now, most mock drafts have him as a projected first-round pick. Actually went to his hometown for a recent centerpiece feature we did. His high school coach, Scott Wilson, raved about him, called him one of the best athletes he'd ever coached. Not only did he play D-line there, he played some quarterback, punter, even lined up at DB. He's 1 year left of eligibility at Florida. A family member told me tonight he'll decide about the draft after the bowl game. So the Raiders continue to clean house. A fan crosses the line, and a MLB team not done breaking the mold. Those stories in tonight's 360. The Oakland Raiders running out of people to fire at this point. GM Reggie McKenzie relieved of his duties Monday. Guess this shouldn't come as a surprise. Head coach John Gruden has traded all of McKenzie's best players. Gruden said the two were friends and not part of he wasn't part of the meeting to help fire McKenzie. Oakland 39-70 with McKenzie as GM. An ugly season getting uglier for Jacksonville. A fan allegedly yelled a racial slur at Leonard Fournette. Fournette was seen on video yelling at a fan during Thursday's loss to Tennessee. Fournette told head coach Doug Marrone that the fan was shouting racial slurs at him. TJ Yeldon backed up that claim, according to ESPN. Every great idea seems crazy at first. You got space travel, artificial intelligence, a closer as a starting pitcher. Well, the Tampa Bay Rays manager Kevin Cash says they will continue that strategy in 2019. Hey, Tampa won 90 games last season doing it. Most years that's a playoff appearance, so sometimes crazy works, and that's tonight's 360. All right, so they say every team in the NBA makes a run. Well, our producer Scotty Engel says, yeah, except for the Magic. Here's your update on the final score here. 101-76. Dallas beats Orlando. Orlando heading next on the road for their two-game trip in Mexico City. Spectrum Sports 360 is not done yet. We got a Magic story, but we're not featuring a Magic player.
You guys know that's my uncle, right? That's my Uncle Jack.
Yeah, the story behind Orlando's dancing usher hints Jeff Turner might have something to do with it. Plus, could Orlando City be losing one of its biggest stars? A reason to think so coming up. But first, a little check on the forecast here. Christopher Gilson joining me now. Chris, UCF is at home tomorrow. It is obviously cold tonight. Will it be cold tomorrow night for fans going into the arena?
Yeah, needing the jackets throughout the day tomorrow, Pat.
And welcome back to Spectrum Sports 360. You know, fans watch sports to be entertained, not only by the game, but by the atmosphere that surrounds it. In tonight's centerpiece, Luke Hetrick introduces you to an Orlando Magic tandem who's entertained fans for years, one with his voice, the other with his feet. All right, Luke Hetrick joins us for tonight's follow-through. I was impressed by some of the dance moves in that story. We had the floss in there, both Turners. That was awesome, man. Where'd they get the dancing fever?
Well, he knows how to do it. I do not.
Welcome back. Time for the play of the day, courtesy Boston and New Orleans. Jason Tatum, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. The 2017 NBA draft not going to age well. This guy went after Markelle Fultz and Lonzo Ball, proving sometimes you can do a scout's job better at home from the couch. So, bowl season officially starts this Saturday, kicking off a month of almost daily football. It's a lot to watch and a lot to keep track of. Here's a few games I'm circling in tonight's 3 and Out. So the early slate is never great, but here's one to look out for. The Birmingham Bowl, December 22nd. Yes, you heard me right. AAC runner-up Memphis taking on Wake Forest of the ACC. This game has an over-under of 74, second highest of any bowl game. Memphis favored by 5.5 in this one. UCF fans should root for the Tigers. The AAC needs every bowl win it can get. And speaking of UCF fans, Pittsburgh playing Stanford, 2 o'clock December 31st in the Sun Bowl. Everyone's #1 holiday travel destination in El Paso, Texas. A lot has been made about UCF's Power 5 schedule. You've heard it. Well, next year they play both Stanford and Pitt. Pitt just 7-6, but they won the ACC Coastal. Stanford down here, but still got 8 wins. So UCF rooting for both programs to look good. Same day, almost the same time, the Red Box Bowl in Santa Clara, California. Michigan State versus Oregon at 3 o'clock. This is all about Oregon's Justin Herbert, the consensus top QB in this year's draft. Unlike Will Grier, Herbert can actually play in the bowl game with, Jacksonville possibly looking for a quarterback. This game, I would say, is worth a watch. A game maybe not worth a watch happened tonight. It's in Monday Night Football. Vikings-Seahawks. Let's check out the score here for you. Yeah, 14-0 Seattle. Man, after that Sunday night game we had with the Bears, not much of an encore here. If you're a fantasy football player, that's got to be frustrating, right? You have Adam Thielen. He's like this lock of a receiver all season. The playoffs finally roll around in fantasy football, and this is what that offense does. Man, Kirk Cousins clearly worth all that money. Okay, so that's your Monday Night Football score. Going to be going final here any minutes. This show going final right now. I'm Pat Welter. This was Spectrum Sports 360. We'll see you next time. Have a great night.
Spectrum Sports 360.